Ladies and gentlemen, in the journey of life, there are moments that come uninvited, moments we never asked for, moments of pain, heartache, disappointment, and brokenness. These seasons arrive like storms in the night, disrupting our plans, shaking our faith, and leaving us wondering why we all encounter pain in different forms. For some, it's the grief of losing a loved one. For others, it's betrayal by someone they trusted. There are those who walk through seasons of illness, financial hardship, emotional battles, or the deep ache of loneliness. Pain doesn't discriminate. It touches the young and the old, the rich and the poor, the strong and the weak. And when it comes, it often leaves us shattered, unsure, and questioning everything we thought we knew. But what if I told you that pain is not your enemy? What if I told you that pain, as unbearable as it feels, can be the very thing that propels you into your purpose? That within every hardship, every heart-wrenching moment, lies the seed of something greater, something powerful. You see, pain has purpose. It may not feel like it when you're in the middle of it, when you're crying yourself to sleep at night, when you're sitting in silence surrounded by the wreckage of when your prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling, when everything you counted on slips through your fingers. In those moments, pain feels pointless. It feels cruel. But pain is often the classroom where our greatest growth occurs. Some lessons can only be learned in the fire. Some strength can only be found in the struggle. Some wisdom can only be gained through the wilderness. Think about a pearl. That beautiful, valuable treasure starts as an irritant inside an oyster. A grain of sand, small and seemingly insignificant, causes discomfort to the oyster. But over time, that irritation is covered and shaped layer by layer into something precious. Without the irritation, without the discomfort, the pearl would never exist. The same is true for us. The very thing that caused us pain can become the thing that produces something priceless in us if we allow it. Pain has the power to shape us, not destroy us. It can break down the walls of pride and self-reliance, teaching us humility and dependence on something greater than ourselves. It can refine our hearts, helping us to see with compassion, love with depth, and walk with empathy. You'll never fully understand someone else's struggle until you've had to fight your own battles. And sometimes God allows us to go through pain so that we can become a source of healing to someone else. Your wounds, once healed, become the medicine for another's suffering. Your scars become symbols of survival, proof that pain did not have the final word. There is something sacred about suffering. Something deep happens in the soul when you've walked through the valley and emerge on the other side. You start to see the world differently. You stop sweating the small stuff. You recognize what truly matters. You stop chasing things that don't satisfy. You learn to be grateful for the little things. And most importantly, you realize just how strong you really are. Pain can reveal strength you never knew you had. It can expose hidden courage. It can push you into becoming someone you never thought you could be. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the stretching, the pressing, the tearing, and the rebuilding. It's easy to praise in the good times. It's easy to be thankful when everything is going our way, but pain tests us. It reveals the depths of our character, the foundation of our beliefs, the roots of our trust. It asks the hard questions. Do you still believe when things don't make sense? Do you still trust when the road gets dark? Do you still hold on when everything in you wants to let go? Pain produces perseverance, builds character, and character leads to hope. It's a process. A hard one, but it's not without purpose. Every tear you've cried is watering the seeds of your future. Every sleepless night is forging resilience in your soul. Every heartbreak is expanding your capacity to love. Every loss is deepening your understanding of life. There's power in not giving up. There's power in choosing to rise again, even when you've been knocked down. There's purpose in the fight, in the climb, in the healing. And sometimes the pain isn't just for you. Sometimes it's for those who are watching you, silently hoping they can survive their own struggle. Your life becomes a message. Your endurance becomes an inspiration. People see your strength and realize they can be strong too. Let me tell you something powerful. The enemy of your soul doesn't attack you because you're weak. He attacks you because you're valuable. He knows there's something inside you that is destined for greatness. He knows that if you ever rise from that pit, you will walk in power, you will help others, you will be a light. And so he tries to break you. He tries to crush you with pain. But what the enemy meant for evil, God can turn for good. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your failure or your trauma. You are a fighter. You are a survivor. You are a warrior in the making. There's gold inside you, and pain has a way of digging it out. It's in the crushing that the oil flows. It's in the pressing that the wine is made. And it's in the fire that the gold is refined. Don't curse the process. Don't despise the pain. Let it do its work. Let it shape you. Let it mold you. Let it transform you. Sometimes we pray for strength and God gives us struggles to build it. Sometimes we pray for wisdom and He allows us to walk through confusion so we learn to lean on Him. Sometimes we ask for growth and He gives us seasons of discomfort to stretch us beyond what we thought possible. It's not punishment, it's preparation. God doesn't waste pain. Every moment is accounted for. Every trial has a reason, and even when we can't see it, He's working behind the scenes, weaving the pain into purpose. There's a story being written with your life, and the chapters filled with tears and trials will be the very ones that bring the most transformation. Those pages will be marked by resilience, breakthrough, and revelation. They will be the turning points that define your legacy. It may not make sense now. You may not understand why you had to go through what you did, but one day you'll look back and see how it all fit together. You'll realize that without the pain, you wouldn't have discovered your purpose. Without the suffering, you wouldn't have found your strength. Without the brokenness, you wouldn't have been rebuilt into something more beautiful. And so, don't rush the healing. Don't try to skip the steps. Let the process shape you. Let the pain refine you. Cry if you need to. Rest if you must, but don't give up. Because the purpose is bigger than the pain. The calling is greater than the struggle. And what's coming is worth everything you've been through. You are becoming. You are growing. You are being prepared for something extraordinary. So when pain knocks at your door, don't run from it. Lean into it. Ask it what it's trying to teach you. Let it reveal what's inside you. Let it draw you closer to the heart of God where healing begins. And when the pain passes, and it will, you'll stand taller, you'll speak wiser, you'll love deeper, you'll shine brighter. Because the pain that once tried to destroy you will have become the very thing that empowered you. You'll carry your scars not as shameful reminders, but as victorious proof that you made it, that you grew, that you overcame, that the fire didn't consume you, it refined you. And you'll look at the next challenge with different eyes. You'll know that no matter what comes, there is purpose in every part of your story, even in the pain, especially in the pain. Because pain has purpose. And your purpose is powerful. We live in a world that craves instant results. A world that rewards speed and celebrates overnight success. But life doesn't always work that way. Real transformation, the kind that shapes us into powerful, resilient, and wise individuals, doesn't happen in a moment. It happens in the process, in the quiet, often painful journey of becoming. We all want the outcome. Strength, confidence, peace, wisdom, influence. But not everyone wants the process it takes to get there. The truth is, power isn't something we stumble upon. It's something we grow into. It's forged in the fire of adversity. It's developed through trials, setbacks, and moments that test us far beyond what we thought we could endure. Power doesn't come when everything is easy. It comes when you choose to keep moving forward, even when everything in you wants to give up. It comes when you stand firm in the middle of the storm. It comes when you learn how to walk with your head held high, even while your heart is breaking. Power comes through the process of pressing on when quitting would be easier. We admire the strong, the bold, the successful, but if we only knew the story behind their strength, we'd see the process that built them. No one wakes up powerful. No one becomes wise by chance. No one gains depth, compassion, or resilience without first walking through the valley. The people who carry true power are those who've been through something. They've fought battles in silence. They've healed wounds no one else saw. They've cried behind closed doors and kept showing up when they had every reason to walk away. The process isn't glamorous. It's slow. It's gritty. It's filled with moments that stretch you, break you, and remake you. But there is power in staying in the process. There is something sacred about not skipping steps. Because every step is teaching you something. Every delay is strengthening you. Every disappointment is refining your character. And every detour is preparing you for the destination in ways you can't yet see. Growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows. It happens in the quiet moments of struggle where no one is clapping for you, no one is watching you, and no one is validating you. It's in those unseen places that the real work is done. That's where your roots grow deep. That's where your foundation is laid. That's where power is born. We want to rise, but sometimes God keeps us hidden so that we can be prepared. Because what good is a rise if you're not ready to handle it? What good is influence if your character can't carry it? What good is a platform if you crumble under pressure? The process isn't there to punish you, it's there to protect you, to prepare you, and to produce in you something real. Power that comes too quickly fades just as fast. But power that comes through process lasts. It endures. It withstands pressure. Because it wasn't handed to you, it was built in you. And when you've been through the process, you don't just have strength, you have wisdom. You have depth. You have scars that remind you where you've been. You have stories that can lift others up. You have something real to offer. Think about a tree. The tallest, strongest trees didn't grow overnight. They took time, years of reaching down into the soil, weathering storms, standing through harsh winters and dry seasons. Their roots had to grow deep so that when the winds blew, they wouldn't be uprooted. You are no different. The process is your rooting, it's your strengthening, it's your foundation. Don't be discouraged by slow progress. Don't get weary in the waiting. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not working. Some of the most important growth is invisible at first. It's happening inside. In your thoughts, your habits, your responses, your discipline, your faith. One day, what was invisible will become visible. The fruit will show. The power will be seen. But you must stay committed to the process. It's easy to start something. It's harder to finish. It's easy to dream. It's harder to build. The process requires consistency. It demands endurance. It asks for your patience and your trust. It's the place where you learn who you are and who you are becoming. There will be setbacks. There will be detours. You will make mistakes. You will fall. But the process is not about being perfect. It's about showing up again and again. It's about choosing to believe that every step matters. Every hard day is working something in you. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, something is. You are. Your power is in the process. Every lesson, every trial, every season of waiting, every door that closed, every no you received, every moment you had to encourage yourself, every tear you cried that no one saw, all of it is part of your becoming. And the truth is, you don't come out of the process the same. You come out stronger, wiser, more grounded, more compassionate, with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you're capable of. You realize you're not as fragile as you once thought. You realize that what tried to break you actually built you. That what tried to silence you gave you a voice. That what tried to destroy you uncovered your destiny. There is something unshakable about someone who has gone through the process. They carry a quiet strength, a steady presence. They don't need to prove themselves because their journey already speaks. They're not intimidated by the storms because they've already weathered worse. They don't fold under pressure because they've been strengthened in secret. It's not the easy seasons that build that kind of power. It's the hard ones, the lonely ones, the ones where you had to fight just to keep believing, the ones where you didn't know how it would end, but you kept moving anyway. That's where true power comes from. So don't be afraid of the process. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Because the process is the very thing preparing you for the promise. It's shaping you for what's ahead. It's developing the strength you'll need, the clarity you'll need, the maturity you'll need. You may not see the results today. You may not feel powerful right now. But keep going. Keep showing up. Keep growing. Every day you stay in the process is a day closer to becoming the person you were created to be. Sometimes the biggest victories aren't the ones others can see. Sometimes the greatest triumph is simply not quitting, choosing to heal, choosing to learn, choosing to rise again. Those small daily decisions are what build true power. And when you look back, you'll realize the process didn't just change your life. It changed you. It made you someone who can handle the weight of your calling, someone who can lift others. Someone who knows what it means to fight and still believe. Someone who carries power, not because it was given, but because it was earned in the trenches of transformation. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare your journey to anyone else's. You're not behind, you're not late, you're right where you need to be. Trust the timing. Trust the stretching. Trust the process. Because true power isn't something you're born with, it's something you grow into, and you are growing right now. Whether you see it or not, whether you feel it or not, something inside you is shifting. Strength is rising, vision is forming, power is being developed in the depths of your becoming. So keep going. The process may be long, it may be hard, but it's worth it. Because on the other side of the process is a version of you that is stronger, braver, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined. And when you reach that place, not only will you walk in your own power, but you'll light the way for others to find theirs. There's something powerful about a story, not just any story, but the one you lived through. The one that tested you, broke you, and ultimately shaped you. The story you didn't ask for but had to live. The story you cried your way through. The one that made you question your strength, your worth, your future. And yet, somehow you survived. You made it through, and now that very story has the power to breathe life into someone else. When we go through hard seasons, it can feel like we're the only ones fighting the battle. Pain can be isolating. It can convince us that we're alone in our suffering, that no one understands, that no one sees. But the truth is, you're not alone, and your story has more purpose than you think. Because what you walked through, what you survived, what you're still healing from, that's someone else's survival guide. What you've overcome is what someone else needs to hear so they don't give up. People are not looking for perfection. They're looking for real. They're looking for someone who's been through the fire and came out on the other side. Someone who knows what it's like to cry themselves to sleep. Someone who understands the sting of betrayal, the ache of loss, the weight of anxiety, the silence of depression. Someone who has faced the storm and lived to tell the tale. When you choose to share your truth, you become a light for someone else wandering in the dark. There is healing in your honesty. There is strength in your vulnerability. There is power in your testimony. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be fully healed to speak life. Sometimes it's the raw, unfinished chapters that touch people the most. When you speak from your scars instead of your wounds, you're not just telling your story, you're giving someone else permission to believe they can heal too. What tried to break you didn't win. You're still here. You're still standing, and that matters more than you realize. Because someone out there is facing the same thing you did. They're asking the same questions. They're feeling the same pain. And your voice could be the one that whispers, "You're going to make it. I did." You may never know the full impact of your story. You may never see all the lives it touches. But every time you share a piece of it, you plant seeds of hope. There's nothing more powerful than a person who's been through the worst and still chooses to help others. That kind of heart carries compassion that can't be taught. That kind of strength carries authenticity that can't be faked. Your pain has equipped you. Your journey has prepared you, not just for your own healing, but to help lead others toward theirs. Your story is your ministry. Your survival is your message. Your breakthrough is your gift to the world. We often think that in order to be of value, our lives have to be polished and perfect. But it's not your perfection that empowers others. It's your perseverance. It's the way you kept going when everything was falling apart. It's the way you chose to hope when it would have been easier to give up. It's the way you decided to turn your pain into purpose. Every tear you cried was not wasted. Every night you laid awake wondering why was not meaningless. Every battle you fought, every fear you faced, every step you took in the dark, it all matters. It all counts, because someone else is now walking the road you once did, and they need to know they're not alone. They need to know that healing is possible, that joy can return, that life can be good again. And when you share your story, you become that living proof. Don't let shame silence you. Don't let fear hold you back. You don't need to have a platform or a microphone to impact someone's life. Sometimes the most powerful conversations happen in the quiet moments, over coffee, in a message, in a shared tear. Sometimes it's your presence that speaks louder than words. Just by being real, by being you, by showing up, you make a difference. The enemy of your soul would love nothing more than to keep you quiet, to convince you that your story is too messy, too painful, too complicated. But what you've been through isn't something to hide, it's something to share. Because when you open your mouth and speak your truth, chains start to break. Not just for you, but for others. People are looking for authenticity. They're looking for someone to say, "Me too, I've been there, I've felt that, I've wrestled with that." And when you say those words, walls start to come down. Hearts begin to heal. Hope starts to rise. There's a reason the Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Your testimony is a weapon. Your story carries weight. You don't have to be a motivational speaker to inspire. You don't have to have a massive following to make an impact. You just have to be willing to tell the truth, to speak life, to show others that it's okay to be human, to struggle, to fall and get back up again. You just have to live out loud in a way that says, "I've been through some things, but I didn't let those things define me." There's someone out there right now who needs to hear what you've learned. Someone who needs to know that it's possible to smile again after grief. That it's possible to love again after heartbreak. That it's possible to rise again after failure. That it's possible to trust again after betrayal. Your pain was not in vain. It was preparation for something greater than you. Sometimes we go through things not just for ourselves, but for others. Sometimes your greatest wound becomes someone else's healing. What if the very thing you thought would destroy you is the very thing God uses to deliver someone else? What if your struggle was never just about you, but about what you would carry out of it to offer the world? Your story is not just about what happened to you, it's about who you became in the process. It's about the courage it took to face the pain, the faith it took to keep believing, the strength it took to hold on. And every time you share that, you give someone else a reason to keep going. People need more than advice. They need connection. They need stories. They need to see real people who've walked through real fires and didn't come out bitter, but better. People who carry light. People who have scars, not shame. People who show that healing is possible, that hope is real, that grace still works. You have that kind of story, even if it still hurts. even if it's still unfolding, even if you're not where you want to be yet, you're on the journey, and someone needs to see your journey to believe in their own. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be honest, open, willing to let your life be a message that says there is life after pain. So many are silently struggling, desperately waiting for someone to speak up and say what they're too afraid to voice. You could be the one who gives them the courage to open up, to seek help, to start healing. Don't underestimate the power of your voice. Don't diminish the value of your story. You've been through too much to stay silent now. The world is waiting for real. For people who will say, here's what I've been through. And your story, your real, raw, redeemed story can be the very thing that brings someone else back to life. So tell it, live it, share it, even if your voice shakes, even if your eyes tear up, even if your hands tremble, because someone somewhere is still in the storm you've already walked through, and your story just might be the shelter they need until the winds die down. You may never fully know how much your story matters. You may never meet every person who's impacted by it, but one thing is certain. When you rise from your pain, when you choose to share your journey, when you let your story shine, you empower others in a way nothing else can. And in doing so, your life becomes more than a survival. It becomes a testimony, a legacy, a light in the darkness.